I've been thinking a lot lately about one of my all-time favorite books, that is Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. And the thing I've really been considering recently is this idea he presents that thoughts have consequences. He gives you this character, Raskolnikov, who, in many ways, is a morally good person. He goes out of his way to help those in need, even to his own detriment. He gives money to those no one else would bother with, even though he does not have the money to give. I mean, he is in many ways a self-sacrificing, compassionate person. And yet he commits such a heinous crime. He murders a pawnbroker in cold blood. So what went wrong? Well, his beliefs, that's what. Raskolnikov holds this dangerous belief that humanity is divided into two groups. You have extraordinary people and ordinary people. He believes that these quote-unquote extraordinary people, like, say, Newton or Napoleon, are above morality, that they can commit horrible acts in pursuit of some higher good, and that it is justified. And Raskolnikov, of course, convinced that he is one of these quote-unquote extraordinary people, kills the pawnbroker under the guise that her death will benefit society more than her life, and therefore her death is morally justified. But the interesting thing is what happens after the murder. By his own logic, his own rationale, he should feel victorious. He should feel good about what he's done. And yet, almost immediately, he feels an overwhelming sense of guilt, anxiety, psychological, and even physical torment. It's as if his entire being rejects the crime, as if reality itself is telling him this is wrong. At its core, this is really Dostoevsky trying to break down consequentialism, the idea that the morality of an action is determined solely by its outcome. Raskolnikov clearly believes that murder can be justified if it leads to a better result. But Dostoevsky ultimately critiques this by asking the crucial question, who decides? Who decides which lives are expendable for progress? How many lives? 1, 1,000, 1,000,000? And on what principle? I think Dostoevsky's overarching point here is that there is no such thing as a harmless thought or harmless belief. Your thoughts, your beliefs ultimately lead to your actions. And dangerous thoughts, dangerous beliefs create dangerous actions. And I mean, look at history. It proved him right. Not even a century after he wrote this, during the 20th century, we saw dangerous ideologies wreak havoc on society and humanity. The interesting thing, too, is that in the end, Raskolnikov seems to find redemption. And that connection doesn't come from his ideas, but from love, from human connection. I think in the end, he hints to us that it is love, not ideology, that saves us. And to be able to not only make that argument, but prove it and show it is incredible.